All right, we finally reached the last of the conic section videos. Yay! I'm with you. All right, so the last set of changes are to move the center, move the vertex, if you will. So again, we have H and K involved. Remember, X and H always go together. Y and K always go together. So no matter what order they're in, Y and K, X and H. So we have, again, right, left, up, and down. Remember, our up, down, left, and right situations, but in this case, we're talking about which way does it open. If it opens right, opens left, opens up, or opens down. I'm going to keep those equations kind of handy here. Let's see if I can take a snapshot, and then I'll split my screen for you. So those equations are going to stay. Let me see if I can zoom in just a smidge and make the equations better. There we go. Now I'm going to go back over here and we're going to look at these problems. So our first problem is this one. So the first thing I need to do is I need to find out which way this opens. Now looking at our equations, the y part is squared. Okay, so I look over on the right side and the y part is squared. It either opens right or left. It's positive, so it's going to open right. Does that make sense to you? I hope it does. The next thing I want to do is I want to find the vertex. The vertex is HK. Remember, H is whatever I'm subtracting from X, so that would be -1. And K is what am I subtracting from Y? That would be 2. I'm going to find that. -1, +2. There is my vertex. We know it opens to the right. The next thing I need to do, I can ignore everything except this number right here. I take whatever that number is and I divide it by 4. That will be the value of A. Now, if that were negative, I would divide by -4, because if you look back at all of your equations, you either have 4A or -4A. You either have 4A or -4A. So I always divide by 4, either positive or negative. So A has a value of 2. 2 tells me how far to go to get to the other important parts that I need. So it opens right, so 2 units to the right will be my focus, and 2 units to the left will be my directrix. And remember, I double that number. 2 times 2 is 4, starting at the focus, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and I draw my parabola accordingly. Not too bad. All right, then let's try number 2. All right, here's number 2. X plus 4 squared is 16y plus 2. It's x squared, so looking at my equations, it's x squared. X is the square, and it's a positive number, so x squared and positive opens up. Correct. Good job. So my x is squared, it's positive. Oops, let me find my vertex. Again, my vertex is at HK. H is what is being subtracted from X, so -4. Y is what is being, or K is what is being subtracted from Y, so -2. So I find -4, 1, 2, 3, 4, -2 puts me right there. I know it opens up. I take the number in front, the 16. It's positive, so I divide it by +4. I get A. A is 4. So 4 units up, 1, 2, 3, 4 will give me my focus, and 1, 2, 3, 4 units down will give me my directrix. Once I have them in place, 2 times 4 is 8, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 looks like this. And there it is. Not so horrible. Huh. Okay. Number 3. Now we have a challenge. My problem is this. It's not in the same format that I was in before. And that's because I have to move some things around. So if I move my equation around to look like this, y squared minus 4y plus 4 plus 4x equals 0, you might notice that I can factor that. And I know that that factors to y minus 2 squared. And I'm going to move that to the other side. Whoa, that was a big step. All right, let's look at that again. I switched these two around, okay, which gave me something I could factor into a square. I made this into a lovely, lovely, lovely perfect square. By doing so, I was able to factor it, and that left me this 4x, which I just moved to the other side. So now I have y squared, and I have a negative number on the right side, so this one opens left. It opens to the left. I find my vertex. What am I subtracting from x? Nothing. What am I subtracting from y? 2. 0, 2 puts me right there. I'm going to the left, so let's see. How far to the left? Let's find out. I take the number in front of the non-squared term. I divide it by 4 if it's positive. I divide it by negative 4 if it's negative. So A must be 1. So 1 unit to the left and 1 unit to the right. Vertex, focus, directrix, all that way. I double that, make 2 out of it. I go up and down to get, oops, 1, 2, don't want to go too far. And here is my parabola. Again, my directrix is over here. Remember, the directrix always goes the opposite way, so it never, ever, ever will run into it. All right, let's try one like that again. Are you ready? Here goes. This one's a little more challenging because we have to recall how to complete the square, which is not always fun. So if I take a look at this number right here, I take half of that number, I get negative 2, and if I square it, I get 4. But remember, what thou doest to the left, thou must also do to the right. So I get x squared minus 4x plus 4 on this side is y plus 4, which is already there, plus another 4, because if I do it to the left, I have to do it to the right. So that gives me x squared minus 4x plus 4 is y plus 8. Yes, I'm not giving you a bunch of these on your homework, so don't have a freak out attack on me. Just make sure you know what you're doing here a little bit. I factor this to x minus 2 squared, and this is a 1 times the quantity y plus 8. Why did I do that? Because I need this 8 to be inside the parentheses so that I can find my vertex correctly. So my it's x squared and it's positive, so this is going to open up. My vertex is at HK. What am I subtracting from x? A 2. What am I subtracting from y? Negative 8. I take the number in the front. I divide it by 4 if it's positive. So my A is 1/4. So I'm going to count a little differently here. I'm going to count by, oh, no, I'm not. I'm going to count, I'm just going to do it. Here we go. 2 over and 8 down puts me right there. There's my vertex. It says I need to go up 1/4 and down 1/4. Wow, this one's really skinny. I double that to get a 1/2, and my parabola is like that. Wow, that's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy if you ask me. Okay, let's look at one more kind of problem, and then we'll call it quits for the day. All right, and it looks like this. I know where the focus is, and I know where the vertex is. The vertex is at 0, 0, and the focus is at 3. 1, 2, 3, 0. Now, if the focus is at 3, that means 3 units to the right. So 3 units to the left. See, I can really draw these pretty quickly. 3 units to the left would be my directrix, which tells me this one opens right. because I moved 3 to the right to get there. Then I double that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I am able to draw my parabola. Now please note, I have not, nor will I ask you to write the equation of a parabola. I will not expect you to write the equation of a parabola from these scenarios. Unlike all of the other sets that we've done, equations are not something I'm going to focus on. I'm focusing on, can you draw me the picture, get the focus, get the directrix in the right spot, can you make your parabola in the right directions? If you can do all of those things, we will have a wonderful, wonderful time with our homework. I'm looking for it because I was going to take a look at it to make sure I had it, but I think that's all I need to cover with you. If there are equations on the homework assignment, you may skip that part, but I don't think there are. I'm looking at it. I do ask you if it opens up, down, left, or right. Oh, I do ask you to write the equations. Nope, we're going to skip that part. So when you get to your homework assignment, you can skip number 1 to 8. Start with number 9. 9, 10, yep, 9 to 16. That'll work. If you get some of those in the first part, that's great, but I'm not going to get all stressed out about it. I'm not going to ask you to do that on a test. It's really hard, and I don't like writing the equations this way anyway, so we're just going to not worry about that this time around. I hope you have enjoyed the conic sections a little bit, and I hope to see you soon.